Hi, Danny. Welcome to another BA11TV interview. It's another summer and another season at the helm. How are you doing, first of all?
Yeah, really good. Good to be back. We've been in about 10 days now. Just finished our fifth session. So it's been really good. Long 10 weeks off since the last game, end of April against Tavistock. But yeah, really good to be back.
Excellent. Yeah. Bit of time away from the pitch, but I imagine it's been a pretty busy off season for you. You've been finalising the squad, signing a few players, preparing for next year.
Yeah, I think like last season was well documented. We had a big turnover of players in the season. Brought in a few new players to help try and rejuvenate our season a little bit, and that worked for us. So the aim was to try and retain as much of the group as we could, because we didn't want another big turnover of players where we've got to start all over again. So the key was retention. So the first couple of weeks, it started prior to the last game of the season, was just having those conversations. It's never easy because players do want a little bit of a break. You've got holidays, and sometimes players are weighing up their options. They've got things going on outside of football, but yeah, in all, the conversations were really positive. We managed to retain the majority of last season's group. We've got some of the injured boys coming back fit, and we've got a couple of new faces in there as well. So yeah, good summer in that respect.
Yeah, success. So I think there have been, yeah, you said five now, training sessions. So that started last Tuesday, I think. So
That's
how
right.
have the sessions been, and what have they involved?
Yeah, well, the first couple of weeks of pre-season are never nice. We've literally just come in from a really tough session tonight. A fair bit of running, bit of ball work in there as well, and we had another tough one on Tuesday. So yeah, literally the five sessions have all been really tough, and the lads will be coming in Saturday for our first game. They'll be feeling leggy, they'll be feeling fatigued, but that's what pre-season's about. Just said to them there, we don't expect them to be fresh going into our first pre-season friendly. We expect them to be fatigued, but they'll be strong and ready to go come the first game of the season. So yeah, it's been a lot of running, a lot of hard work with the football as well, and just building their bodies up and getting them strong, ready for a long campaign.
Yeah, and I mean, you pride yourself on the fitness of your team, and we saw that for large swathes of last season, especially with the amount of injuries we had. But you guys were churning out 3 games a week. That must be a pretty encouraging benchmark to have set.
Yeah, I think a lot of that's down to the players that we brought in to the group. Some of the players are already here. We kind of, versus where we were at the start of last year, is definitely a younger squad, and that naturally helps with the way we want to try and play, legs and energy and work rate. But you need to be able to handle the football as well. But you need to be fit to handle the football the way we want to play. So yeah, fitness is massively key. If you've got the ball, you're gonna be doing less running. So that's equally as important for us. But yeah, we got a fit group. They've all gone away. We gave them a program to do 4 weeks out before they actually came back to pre-season, and judging by the levels, most of them clearly followed those out to a T, and they have to put all their runs on a Strava group that we've got. So we keep an eye on what they've been doing, and it creates a bit of competition amongst the lads and stuff like that as well. So yeah, they've worked hard. They've come back in good condition, which is really good.
Who's winning the Strava at the moment?
Who's winning the Strava? Simo's sat there. Who's winning the Strava? Waz. I would say actually, Waz. We set out a program which was 2 or 3 runs a week, and Waz did every single run on the day it was meant to be done. Not a day late, not a day early. On the day it was meant to be done, and done it in good times. But to be fair, they've all carried it out. We've got some fit boys in there. To be fair,
Waz has already had his off season, hasn't he?
yeah, that's true. Yeah, Waz had half a season off, so he should be doing extra.
Yeah, so yeah, the squad's looking in fine fettle. But I imagine the return of people like Warren, Ollis has a bit of recovery time now. George Rigg, Sam Teal, that must be a huge boost for you.
Yeah, 100%. I think the run we went on at the back end of last season, winning a large number of games, in each of those games, you were looking over in the stand and seeing 5-6 boys sat on the sidelines, and that gave you even more encouragement for potentially what we could do this season, because they're all going to seem like new signings. Ollis missed a third of the season. Waz missed half of the season. Teely missed a third of the season, even though he played at the end. He missed a third overall. John Davis missed a third. Riggy missed a third. Alex Monks missed over a third. Russia, which was a new signing, came in, got injured, recovered, got injured again. I think he only made 2 or 3 appearances, but looked really good in that short space of time. So Pierce Mitchell, another new sign-in, came in, looked really, really good, really commanding, reassuring presence, got injured. So all of those boys coming back in are going to make a massive difference to the group who battled on and finished the season for us last year. So yeah, positive signs on that respect.
Yeah, really positive. And it looks to me like there's a really good mix of promising youth. We've got the promising youth and experience. We've got the signings of Matt Wood and Ben Griffith at either end of the pitch. Can you talk to us a bit more about them?
Yeah, sure. I'm really, really happy with the 2 signings that we made. I think start with Matt Wood. I think Shepton done a brilliant job with him. He was their captain last season. But we actually found out about him through our connections with Bath University. Shay Wilson, an ex-colleague of mine from Bristol Rovers days, kept in touch with him. We built a bit of a relationship over the last couple of years with some of the players we've had through from Bath Uni, Connor Roberts, Joe O'Loughlin, Conrad, and now Woody. And yeah, he came highly recommended, came in and helped us out on a dual registration last year. And straight away you could see that the lad's got potential. We see him potentially playing in a couple of positions for us and maybe adding something that we didn't have last year. So it'd be interesting to see how he develops in that respect, because he's only really played centre half, but we've seen something that we think we can work with. So yeah, really, 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 really happy with him, and thank Shepton for letting us borrow him last year. And we had to wait for them to finish their cup final in May before we could progress those conversations with Woody, but then it was pretty easy from there. And Griff, another one we're really excited about, a good young talent. He's been at Weston since the age of 12, playing in Weston's team. Obviously they won promotion from the Southern Prem into the Conference South, and he played 12-13 games in that season, scoring 5-6 goals for them at that level. Had a couple of loan spells in our level with Willands, and I think 15 goals in 20 odd appearances in the prior season. So he's got bags and bags of potential, bit different to what we've got. He's come into training, he looks really, really lively, really sharp, good finisher. So it just give us something different at the top of the pitch, which I think we need.
Yeah, really exciting. So we have our first clash against Bath City. That's on Saturday at Banchers Hill.
Yeah,
we played them, I think, 5 times in 2.5 seasons. So yeah. Familiar foe. But how are the boys shaping up for that one?
Yeah, to be fair, I really, really enjoy playing against Bath City. It's they really challenge you as a coach, and a manager really challenges you, because there's such a good outfit. Got some top class players who've played X number of games in the Football League, and obviously a good manager and coach in Jerry. I like coming up against him, and we take so much from those games, and thank them for coming over. But yeah, it could have been easier for us in terms of the first friendly. But you got to take those games when they come around, and it'd be a real good test. They've made some good signings. They got a local boy, the keeper there, who's a local boy to Froome, who's come on loan from Southampton, and hopefully a few of our fans will come out to have a look at him as well as have a look at us. So hopefully there'll be a decent crowd in. But yeah, it'll be a really, really tough game, and it will be an extension to our training for the boys, and they'll get lots of running, because we might not see a lot of the ball. Fully expect us not to see a lot of the ball, but it'll be about our shape and fitness, and then what we do when we're fatigued, when we do win the ball back, how we cope with it. So it'll be a real tough challenge, but I'm not worried about the result. I'm worried about us getting the right number of minutes into the legs.
Yeah, it should be a great tie, and tickets are available on the website. Yeah, what are you expecting to get out of these 7 games that you have in the next month? I mean, they're quite different sides.
Yeah.
How do you approach them?
Yeah, so you never get it 100% spot on in terms of how you want the preseason, but you try and give yourselves all different types of games. So we'll try and have games where we're not going to see a lot of the balls about our defensive shape, and then you try and have games where you think you're going to dominate the football, and how do you break a side down, and then we always try and finish off with what is a realistic competitive game, and we've got that. So yeah, really grateful to Bath. We've got Western coming over, newly promoted into the Conference South. That'd be another good test. We've got the local side in Bradford coming over. So yeah, enjoy coming up against my former side. So look forward to that one. And then a few tough away games against Western League sides in the mix as well. And then we finish with what was going to be Kidlington away. So same level as us, step 4. But that's been changed due to them having to play in the FA Cup on that date. So we're now going to Northley, which will be a tough game. Just got relegated from step 3 into step 4 into the Southern Central League. So that'll be a real competitive game. We did it a couple of years ago where we played Cirencester on the last friendly, and it really sets you up for the league campaign. So yeah, we've got a good mix of games, but hopefully we'll build as the weeks go on with fitness and match sharpness and be ready to go come the 12th of August, I think it is.
Yeah, and on that, how do you ramp up the prep for each fixtures? It must be quite difficult to replicate a league game.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they're never exactly the same as a league game, but just trying to get back into that match day routine in terms of your preparation, your timings, how the players prepare, and then yeah, I think it always takes a while because you're trying to get minutes into the boys. So there's lots of changes and things like that, but we try and treat it as much of a match day routine as we possibly can, and get the boys back into it. But we're definitely not going to peak Saturday. We're not going to peak next week or the week after. We have to slowly build them up and make sure that we're 100% ready to go in 4 or 5 weeks' time.
Okay, yeah. So the big question, as ever this time of year, what can this group of players achieve this season?
I think they showed it the back end of last year, the last 10 games or so. Top of the form guide during that period, and we had some tough fixtures in there as well. Went down to Tottenham. Okay, they had won the league at that point, or they needed a point, I think, to win the league. And we went down there and competed really well, even with 10 men. Picked up a large number of wins, as I said, top of the form guide, better than Tottenham, better than Sholing, better than all of those top sides. So I think this group have shown what they're capable of. Adding in some of the experienced boys coming back from injury, then I think we can have a really positive season. We're not going to talk about winning the league. We're not going to talk about promotions internally. We know as a club that's a given. That's the expectations from the fans, the size of our club. Ideally, we want to get back to that Southern Prem as quickly as we possibly can. But we just within our group, within our change room, we just want to control the things that we can control. That's how we train. That's how we prepare. That's how hard we work during games, and that's how we carry out our tactical work or our tactical instructions and game plan. That's all we can control. And if we do that, then we'll win more than we lose. So that's what we're focusing on as a group.
Yeah, you mentioned that brave result at Tottenham. I think you got to take a lot of encouragement from that. I guess that's the kind of message you're trying to get across to the boys when you're talking stage.
Yeah, no, absolutely it is. I think whoever travelled for that game, you could see that there was pride in the shirt, and people not only working hard for the supporters, but working hard for each other and us and themselves. There's a bit of personal pride in there, we talked a lot about that this season in terms of things will go against you, like it did in that game. We knew we needed at least a point, if not a win, to take it down to the last game of the season, and we have John Davis sent off after 10 minutes, and you could easily buckle in those circumstances, but the lads showed good resilience and character, and that's what we're going to need this season: resilience and character. It's not going to go away. You're not going to win every game. You're going to go a goal down. You're going to lose a game. It's how you bounce back from that, and I think that's going to be the most important thing for us as a group this year is how we bounce back from adversity in games or after games, and how we react. And I think we've got a good enough group where we will do that. We will bounce back from bad moments.
Agreed. And well, thank you so much for your time, Danny. It's been really great talking to you, and we wish you all the best for Saturday and the rest of pre-season.
Thank you very much. Yeah, looking forward to it. And good to talk to you again. Good to be back into that football routine, and we look forward to Saturday. Hopefully the fans come out in good numbers. As I said, it's been a while since we played a game of football, so it'd just be nice to see a few familiar fans in the crowd, and hopefully we can put on a decent performance and set ourselves up for a good season.
Thanks, Danny. Catch up soon.
Cheers, Seb. Thank you.